Notice Utah not switching this.
Staying with Murray. Murray, oh, a little hesitation is beautiful. The hezzy, yeah.
Yokic and Murray. Murray fade away for the lead. Good! Got it! Denver's got the lead.
Nuggets get the offensive rebound and the nice fadeaway by Murray.
Oh yeah, we can never hear the music, huh? What it do, baby? The funky jam.
Is it funky music?
I think it is funky music.
Right, yeah.
What is up, everybody? Welcome into the Winners Lounge.
Sorry, I'm a little rusty, and I wasn't sure. I'm still holding my breath for that result.
Out of breath. Completely out of breath. This is one of those... For Nuggets over the Utah Jazz. So many things to get to. This is going to be an eventful Winners Lounge because there's just like so many different like topics out of this one.
Yeah, no kidding.
Before we get started though, guys, we're presented, of course, today as always by Draftkings. Use promo code DNVR. Don't forget, sign up and bet. The bets on MPJ still kind of crazy.
Pretty crazy.
Still a little crazy. They're still underselling him, I think, a little bit. He had a bad game
He
tonight.
did have a bad game.
Today might help, too, because this was his down game. He still looked good, but they're going to push those lines back down. So
download the
over
DraftKings Sportsbook app and use promo code DNVR when you do. Okay, so I'm here with D-Line Combe, here with Brendan Vogt.
Let's go.
What up,
This was an exhausting game to watch.
Man.
I feel like I want to take a nap or...
I do. I'm not kidding. I do feel like taking a little bit of a nap. I got adrenaline.
Do you think you guys on the live can give us like 20 minutes?
It's like I got up for it, then I went back down for it, and then I got up for it again. Then I didn't care for a little in the middle.
I need a little Strava craft coffee is what I
got
really
mine.
need. Actually, you got to pull up the ad reads too. Guys, we have a lot of storylines to get to. Jamal Murray comes back from this game. Nikola Jokic is clutch AF, as they say.
Shot, dude.
Clutch
God, the Nuggets need a
Jamal
closer.
Murray, to be honest with you, is pretty clutch. I know he had a couple. It was a little up and down, but
I'm
he had
nervous
some.
about- I'm
He had
nervous
some
about
big
Jamal.
ones. I know he did have. He did have some. He did hobble himself a little bit. It looked like in this game.
Yeah, but he
A little
dug
bit
deep
nervous.
for that three, man. That's killer stuff.
There was a lot of
That's
stuff. Jeremy
killer
Grant,
stuff.
Michael Porter Jr. There's a lot of stuff to get through. But I'll start where I always do. The biggest takeaway, Eric, from this game. The number one thing you take away from it.
Number one thing is that the Nuggets have reassembled. We're starting to see
To reassemble.
we've got our three best players on the floor at any given time. We have the luxury of putting our three best players on the floor. Nikola Jokic is otherworldly. Like you just don't even question whether or not he's going to pull through.
I don't question. You don't question. I know you don't question. But I was on the timeline earlier and I saw some people questioning. I mean, look at it. I'm not kidding. Here's what I have to say. I'm going on a rant. We're getting an early Winners Lounge rant. We saw arguably the greatest coach of all time just this week say that he's reminiscent of Larry Bird.
No,
Actually, I think that's not even what he said.
He said
the
he
reincarnation.
He said he is Larry
identical
Bird.
to him.
Yeah.
And you know what everybody collectively said was, Greg Popovich doesn't know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's one of these things that's hilarious because it's a pill so hard to swallow how great this dude is that even when Greg Popovich says something, we're like, well, you know, he's right about everything else.
You're
Just not this one.
Let's see what Colin Cowherd thinks.
Let's go to Twitter and see what Twitter
One
has
of the
to say about
greatest
this.
coaches in the history of professional sports. Any
Yeah.
sport.
But Nick Wright had some pretty compelling counterpoints.
How many championships does he have? Not 12.
And he's not winning 2 this year. I'll tell
We
you
put
that
that
much.
graphic up with the pop quote. Someone replied to us, "Add us when he's accomplished half of what Bird has."
Yeah.
I said, "Are you talking to us or
Yeah.
Hall of Fame coach Greg Popovich?"
To be clear, he is talking to Hall of Fame coach Greg Popovich. I don't want to belabor this point, but
Please,
Jokic tonight,
I'm with it.
11 of
belabor it,
21.
dude.
Let's belabor it. 30 points, 11 rebounds, 7 assists. And look, he did start slow in this game. The Nuggets did, as a team collectively, start awfully slow, including containing Gobert. But are we kidding ourselves to pretend that Jokic doesn't dominate this matchup in every facet?
Look at this tree.
Whenever it matters. Oh, look at
Oh, it's
Art.
tree.
Hey,
Art
guys,
tree,
is
dude.
here.
Are those corduroy shorts?
These are corduroy shorts.
I'm with it.
I like it.
I'm ranting up. I'm finishing up a rant here about Nikola Jokic, but that's the point. You watch him on games like this, and how many times have we watched this?
Every game he plays.
I mean, pretty much every game. Like, oh,
Every
he had
game of substance.
did
Every
he have
game
a
that matters.
bad first quarter? Is he struggling right now? And then it matters. Now we're in overtime. Give him the ball and clear out, and he's going to score every time.
what I love most about this one is we've seen him do it in all these last chance opportunities. Tonight he had to do it like 14 consecutive possessions, and he was like, "We can do this all night."
I want to hear RK's take. What did you see in that game?
Well,
RK?
quickly, I just want to talk about MPJ. Like, he just quietly puts up 23 and 11.
We're gonna get,
and it doesn't even.
No, he felt like he had a bad game.
Right, it doesn't even register. You know, he doesn't shoot very well. And a week ago, this would have been 2 off his career high. We've been going crazy. Now it's just another game.
The bar has officially been raised to he needs to score 27 points a game and hit 2.5 3-pointers every game so that we can get
his 3-point shot was
he covered the points line. He covered the points, rebounds,
shout
and
out
assist
double
line.
OT. Shout out game clock operator who clearly had money on the MPJ over. We figured it out.
So is that your big takeaway? I mean, it's one of the takeaways today.
That was one of my takeaways. It's just like, okay, this is just normal now for MPJ to put up a double-double with 23 points, and we just kind of brush it off.
I do feel like it's important to say I don't think this was a great game for Michael Porter Jr. I don't think it was a bad one. And like you said, 23 and 11
the goalposts
is a great.
The
goalposts have moved. But it's like Yokic. We've seen Yokic have a 18, 12, and 10 game, and it's like, I don't feel like he really was that great tonight, but it's like a ridiculous stat line. For MPJ, the goalposts have moved because I personally happen to believe he's this kind of player right now. He was a team high plus 13, but that was one of the takeaways to me is that he didn't look great.
Yeah. And RK, you were down in the bull pit down there.
Yeah.
RK was in amongst the people. He's a man of the people. Oh. Tell us what it was like down there.
It was great. I mean, it was stressful trying to keep one eye on the Avs, one eye on the Nuggets, and like the ebbs and flows of both were weird because like the Nuggets went on a surge while the Avs were down 1-0. It's like the energy was just shifting back and forth, but it was awesome down there. A lot of people engaged in both games. You got Avs fans going crazy
Colorado
on Nuggets
fans,
buckets.
Baby. We are Denver.
That's what kind of the vibe that we're trying to cultivate
this is
here.
My dream. If I could tell you guys one of my dreams with DNVR, I want to bring Avs and Nuggets fans together.
We just did.
It's like and we did tonight. Honestly, that's a great point, RK, because it was like the whole bar just excited and going crazy. The few people that are allowed into the bar for social distancing measures, we're going crazy for this because it is fun when you got both teams going and you realize like, oh hell yeah, we do root for everybody here. They all say Denver on the chest.
It also just had me fantasizing. We're still a ways out, but there will come a time, there will come a day in this bar where we're not talking about restrictions and we're not talking about round robins or bubble games.
Are you kidding me?
We're talking about
talking about practice,
and this is going to be the place to be. I'm convinced.
The noise complaints that are going to be coming from all up and down.
I think I might start complaining.
Yeah, it's just like, keep it
like
down.
we got to be here all the time, man. Like
it's kind of true though.
Take it down from a 10 to a 2, maybe.
What's your overarching takeaway though? Before we move on to
of this game, I was going to say that Yokic is like one of the best closers in the game. I've known that for a long time, but like I said earlier, and it wasn't really a joke, he did it like 8 times tonight. Like straight up, give me the ball, don't worry.
I'm getting to a point though where I'm just like I felt pretty confident. I'm not a confident fan. I'm never the guy that's like, oh, we're going to win no matter what. I think we're always going to lose. This whole bubble, when the games have gotten close, I'm kind of like, I just like Yoke in this matchup. I just like him. It's Gobert. Gobert's really shutting him down. Let's see what happens here.
God.
I'm sorry, I keep interrupting you here. I'm just hyped.
We're going to say the same thing, I think.
2 or 3 of those layups down the end with Gobert on him were just like
comical
against a child.
A comical,
kiddie stuff. Right?
My favorite one is just where he made like 17 post moves.
Yeah.
And he was just like, one of these is eventually going to work. You cannot defend all of these.
Yeah.
I know you're going to overcome, but like, maybe it was 3 seconds, but that's aside from the point. Like, you give him the ball down there, it doesn't matter who's defending him. He has a move. He knows you're going to overcommit one way eventually, and he just smokes you after that.
I'm changing his nickname officially to the Waffle Tower.
I like it.
He didn't get any love from the officials tonight either. I hate to be local Homer official guy, but I mean, I just thought he really battled through. I do want to circle back to MPJ though, because I think it's important that he had a not great game.
Yeah.
That he didn't hit his 3-pointers,
right,
and that he was a team high in plus minus, because if you watch closely, he still made an impact, especially at times that mattered. There was one play late in the game where he stuck his nose in there, got the offensive rebound, scrambled possession, rises up, puts it in. So not a great game. But what did we learn? He doesn't have to be on his aim game to help this team win. That's good news.
I might be reading too much into this, but I think he has a healthy respect for the veterans. And when I say veterans, I'm talking about Jamal Murray, Nikola Jokic, guys that aren't typically considered. But I think he has respect because if you watch him, I wouldn't say he looked nervous down the stretch. He looked a little nervous, I'll say it. He looked a little nervous down the stretch, but more than anything, I think he looked like, this isn't my turn. You know what I mean? Like, this is Jokic going to work. This is Jamal Murray going to work and, fill in the gaps where it need be. Whereas a lot of times you get a rookie like this, especially we know Michael Porter and sort of the MO on him coming into the NBA. Yeah. He wants every shot. Yeah. He wasn't forcing bad shots in the clutch tonight.
And I think that's important because you could have had a situation where Jamal comes back into the lineup and MPJ is like, "Oh, sorry, buddy, this is my squad now." And that you don't want that, especially with Jamal being a super alpha as well. So it's kind of nice to see MPJ be like, "Hey, I'm here if you need me, but I know you guys got this."
That's the thing. Like that was actually one of my big takeaways was just like I was alluding to, like just seeing what the starting lineup will actually look together, and they had that really rough first quarter offensively.
Yeah, they did.
They were just trying to find their rhythm, but like I think they probably won or tied every quarter after that. Like I felt confident going into every quarter after that first one where it was just clunky, and it wasn't that they weren't getting open shots, they just weren't hitting them. And there's just so much about rhythm and confidence that is inexplicable when it comes to basketball. It's just a feel thing more often than not. Like actually, now that I'm thinking about it, it's kind of a make or miss league.
Jeez,
did you just come up with that?
Wow. We have to keep moving because there's so many topics. Jamal Murray, I think, is very high on the list of people we need to talk about tonight. 10 of 25, didn't shoot the ball necessarily well, but 23 points, 12 rebounds, 8 assists, damn near triple-double. And I thought he had some real highs. But to me, the storyline, I want to talk about the clutchness. I want to talk about the night, just having him back in the lineup. I want to talk a little bit even about the bad stuff, how it looked a little clunky early on. But the first place I have to go is I do not think he looks 100%. I don't think he looks 90%. I'm not even sure I think he looks 80%. And that's concerning to me. Am I sounding the alarm on this too early?
Yeah, sorry, pulling up some comments there. We're talking Jamal, right?
Yeah, we're talking Jamal.
Yeah, he looked hobbled out there, man. And I don't...
Especially down the end.
Especially, and he was... Look, you wouldn't speculate about an injury, but he was grabbing at his left hamstring, the one that's been bothering him. So, not going to call it an injury, but call it like we see it. He was hurting. So, I was a little surprised that Malone let them get after this one that way.
Yeah.
Given that, with all you've done to preserve Jamal this long... To lose him going for a double OT game, it would have been pretty sad. But I guess Jamal doesn't really let you take him out. But
that kind of leads to my takeaway, which is Jamal only has one gear, and I think it's problematic for this bubble setting. And it might be one of the reasons why I think they've been so cautious with him. He can't go out there and be like, all right, just gonna get out here, get some shots up, warm my way into this, and by the playoffs I'll be ready to go. Like he goes out there and he's like. Overdrive.
He was
right
so
away.
Aggressive.
He wants to win so bad. He wants to make every play. He wants to make, and it's like, dude, like, you don't need this right now. Right. And I'm actually surprised they played him so many minutes down the stretch. Like I thought Malone would say, like, pitch count, you got to come out. Sorry, we'll finish.
Especially after
you.
the last game, he thought like maybe Malone is playing. I mean, I guess maybe is an argument that. The last game was more of a 4D chess match than we were maybe leading on. That he was willing then to.
Sure.
Why is this game more important than the last game?
Of course, yeah. I think there actually is something to that, and it's funny because over the last 4 days or so, we're starting to see everybody. The Lakers rest guys. We're seeing the Clippers rest guys. We're seeing the Nuggets, obviously. The Jazz rested yesterday, so there is a lot of interesting sort of maneuvering going on. I put a tweet out there earlier. These games feel like a mixture of the playoffs and the preseason.
Yeah.
Like this play is sloppy. Guys are clearly clunky and don't know what they're doing. But then they get intense like this. And
but it's crazy. But these scores are insane. They're like there's so much scoring happening in these games.
Yeah, and a lot of shooting. Which let's stay on Jamal before we move to the shooting though. But what do you make, Eric, of just the overall? Like, where would you grade him tonight? And more importantly, where would you grade the Nuggets? Overall, and sort of fitting into him and him fitting into the
Jamal
Nuggets.
Specifically.
Jamal
How would I
Murray
grade
specifically.
Jamal Murray to me, this was a B- effort from Jamal. Like
effort
on his. It was
an A+ effort.
Well, effort's maybe the wrong word. Result.
Okay.
Like he probably played a B+ game in comparison to what he's able to do.
Yeah.
He did get hobbled at the end. Again, my big takeaway, my big key for Jamal in this bubble are his legs. And his legs immediately are tested and hobbled a little bit. And so I feel like it's going to be a storyline moving forward. But overall, though, I mean, after that first quarter, then you really started to see the Nuggets start to play together. We saw a lot of that two-man game between he and Yokic when we needed it, but they were also like kind of swinging it around. It gave Grant a lot of wide-open looks to the basket where he was getting dunks. Like you can just kind of see it all coming into focus, and it's exciting.
Yeah. What about you, Vogt? Just the way that he fit into the Nuggets and that the Nuggets fit into around him.
Yeah, I think that's going to still be a work in progress.
Okay.
It was a little rusty tonight. The pull-up threes, I mean, it's talked about so much. I thought he was too hesitant tonight.
He never hits those. Never.
Oh, he had one that we all got out of our seat. We're like, what are you doing?
Jokic
That's
finds him in the corner late in the game. And so, especially against Utah when you're hobbled, so much work to get a paint look against Gobert and company when what this team really needed was him to let it fly. But, you give him time. You give him time because the Murray we saw in that last scrimmage was exactly what they needed. So he gets that benefit of the doubt for sure.
No doubt about it.
And that's what you love about Jamal is like he willed himself into a decent game. Like
totally.
I thought his legs looked sluggish and
legs, baby.
And that's not that's just to be expected. He airballs a wide open three from the top of the key. That's legs.
Badly.
That's definitely legs and maybe little hamstrings.
Right. But I think that he wanted it really, really bad, and he wants to go shot for shot with a guy like Donovan Mitchell. He wants to show that he's in that echelon, and I think that I think he played a B game, and to be honest, I think the process was like an A process, but he just didn't have it the way he wanted.
But I'm giving him an A for this game. Well, strictly because of what you said. Like, he came out and competed, and I think when you look at this, we know that he's a competitor. Jamal Murray, mentally extremely tough.
He might
and
be the
can overcome
competitist.
injuries. But here's the thing. There's a difference between overcoming like a tweaked ankle that you have to lace him up a little tighter and go through, and an actual injury that's going to prevent you. And my biggest fear watching this game and just how it unfolded is like, okay, there's 5 days before the playoffs begin. I don't know that he's going to be healthy, and that means he's going to have to overcome that every single night on the court, which he can do, but I don't know.
We're just not going to see that. We're not going to see the superhero Jamal Murray we thought we were going to see after that third scrimmage.
A little worried about that.
But we can get this Murray, and this Murray's great.
It's a hell of a Murray, yeah. It's pretty good.
This is one hell of a Murray.
12 and 8 is
this is a top Murray. It's just not like the best Murray.
Yeah, it's not.
But
the
we got
best
MPJ. Who cares?
You almost had a triple double. We're calling it a B.
Yeah.
I said a B minus.
We got a lot more to talk to when we come back on the other side of this break, guys. We're going to take our first break because Jeremy Grant, I think, is interesting. We're just going to talk about what this game meant because it's felt like last game didn't mean anything. This game meant everything for some reason to both teams.
Okay.
But we'll do that on the other side. First, take us away. Throw on the music.
It's Friday, right?
Well, hold on. Peter and David Easter are arguing with our grades. Screw you guys.
With all of our grades?
We got an A plus from David East.
An A plus for Murray? I'll tell you what, he was really good down the stretch.
I'm just saying, if David East is teaching a class, take that class. You'll get an A plus.
Yeah, I like it.
We're at the DNVR bar. When you're at the DNVR bar, it's really easy to get yourself a big pint, sometimes a member-sized beer of Breckenridge Brew, the official beer of DNVR. Make sure you're checking out that Mile High Copper City Lager 15-can pack. But also, just so you know, we did get the Strawberry Sky.
Oh, it's on tap now, baby.
Just on tap downstairs
Many
at the
people
bar.
are saying the Strawberry Sky is the fillet of the Breck sampler pack.
I've heard people say that about the RK special, but
tell us about the RK special.
I thought they called that a
the
front.
Hot Pink IPA. Tell us what you guys prefer, the RK special or the Hot Pink IPA, which is what Harrison calls the Hot Pink IPA.
To tell you the truth, like if I was trying to cool off out on a hot day, I'd probably settle up with a Hot Pink IPA.
Hot Pink IPA is great.
You don't want to hear IPA when you're trying to be like refreshed.
But
that's what's so special about the RK special is you mix in the Strawberry Sky, which is the most refreshing beer in history, and then you just get that you get that little kick that you get from throwing half IPA in there.
I want you to know that the Nuggets beat, we named beers after Vanilla Porter Jr. We got the Yokic pack. RK over here, he down the Broncos beat. They just named beers after themselves.
Yes, that's how I do it. I invented this.
Different strokes for different folks, I suppose.
If you want the RK special, come on down to the DNVR bar in Colfax, get yourself one. If you're looking for the Mile High Copper City Lager 15-can pack, use the Breck Beer Locator. It'll show you where the nearest place is that you can pick that up. Let's talk about WGT Golf, too. We got
it going on this weekend. I got to play.
Is it the Big Drive Open? Did I say that correctly this weekend?
Big Drive Open.
So that's open right now in all three clubhouses, DNVR 2, DNVR 3. If you are just joining WGT, you're looking how to get involved in these tournaments, go to country clubs, search DNVR 3.
Oh my God.
Sign up, and then you'll see these bad boys up and open every weekend. They're a lot of fun.
And it's best, we learned last time, if you play right next to two other people that are also playing at the same time. Then you have agony and defeat, and you have the joy and the.
We should have like
jubilation.
WGT playing parties at the bar. Everyone comes in. You're like, all right, we're teeing off on one.
And before you get started,
I already like noticed the people on the leaderboard. I'm always like eyeing. I'm like, all right, I see
actually,
this.
you know what? I'm going to start limbering up my fingers just now, just waiting until this game's over.
Let's dive back into this, guys. So, king of the game, I think, is pretty simple. Sometimes this is tough. Sometimes it's not. I think it's very clearly that the king of the game is our king.
Our king. Our beloved.
The true king.
The Joker.
The one
the
true
king.
king. The king in the north.
Torrey Craig, baby. Let's go. The king.
All hail the reluctant hero, Nikola Jokic.
The reluctant leader, baby. That's all you're looking for in this life.
Well, I'd like him to be a little less reluctant on the leadership
part
of it.
Well, but the point is like he doesn't always want to, but when it comes down to it, he's like, okay.
Yeah.
I'll give this one to you guys.
I will lead because no one else will. I don't want to. It's not in my nature, but I will take the reins when they're given to me, which is all
I
you
will
want
win
in
this
world.
game for us as a treat.
And
As a treat.
So Paul Millsap plays 22 minutes tonight. He's been on what seems like a minutes restriction. His line tonight: 2 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist. Pretty pedestrian, even for just 22 minutes.
Yeah.
Is this something? Is this nothing? How was he tonight?
Tough matchup for him. And
It
I
is a
think
tough
we have to
matchup,
prepare
actually.
for a matchup-based Paul Millsap. I think he's going to be the starter more often than not. There will be teams in which he's not starting at all. And at the very least, Jeremy Grant is closing down the stretch instead of him. I think Utah might be one of them. They like to go to stretch fours without Favors there now. So rough performance from him, not defending that. But this is just one of those matchups where it's not an outlier that Grant closed this game.
Yeah, I think that there might be something to that
Jeez.
too.
Yes,
Let's talk. Oh, do you have something about
Grant
Millsap?
played 47 minutes and Millsap played 22.
Yeah.
A team high 47 minutes, by the way. Which again, you see Michael Porter Jr. 45 minutes now. He's been playing
45 minutes.
He's been
for
playing
Michael
like
Porter
35
Jr.
plus minutes now every game.
45
We're talking
minutes.
about a guy that hasn't gone through the grind of this. I do wonder with him and just how his legs are going to hold up. He's never played this type of minute load before, and I think it's great experience. But at the same time, I wouldn't mind that number to creep down.
I mean, there's not even, isn't it 10-minute quarters in high school? So there's not even 45 minutes in a high school game, which is the last time he's played a full game.
That's crazy.
He's just
And it's 2
quadrupled
20-minute halves in college.
This box score
Luckily, he's
is
had the-
BS, by the way. It has Bol playing 0 minutes. When he played, very
10
clearly,
seconds.
10
0.3.
seconds.
Oh, it was 10 seconds. No, it wasn't. It was 0.3.
He played 0.3 seconds.
I think you got to
He
register at least a full second
Yeah,
before they give you a
You got
minute.
to round out here. So we talked a little bit about Miskell, but Jeremy Grant, to me, if you guys read the list, if you're a DNVR member and you check out the film study deep dive I've been doing on all these games, Jeremy Grant's name's coming up a lot because he's a guy that I think his fit. Well, you like that plug? Was it too much?
No.
Oh.
David East now says
He's still in
he's
the
giving
grades.
an A+ to Millsap.
Oh wow, yeah, of course he is. So Jeremy Grant's name's come up a lot because he's a guy that I think as the Nuggets were constructed pre-bubble, I wasn't exactly sure where his skill set fit. And what I mean by that is he was a power forward alongside Mason Plumlee and Torrey Craig primarily, and occasionally alongside Yokic and maybe Will Barton or Yokic and Torrey Craig. You throw him out there with Michael Porter Jr. and Yokic, and then he's there. I like the way all of those pieces fit, and you go again tonight. It's quiet. It's always quiet. 7 of 12, 21 points again from him. Now only 2 rebounds. For 46 minutes, only grabbed 2 rebounds. That's a little bit of a concern. But the efficiency and some of the slashing, am I reading too much into this vote if I say I feel like he's starting to find where he belongs in that configuration?
Not at all. I think that's a real takeaway. And as you've pointed out, it's obviously coming, A, because they needed more from him these games, but B, because he has a lot of mismatches too. So, I mean, Grant, I think, is like a guy that is almost an afterthought if you're game planning for this team defensively. And he's learning how to take advantage of that.
As he should be,
As
though.
he should be.
And that's a feature, not a bug, because you need guys on every team that are like, I'm the 5th option.
Right, exactly. And like Jeremy Grant streaking with like 3 seconds left on the shot clock,
Yeah.
I want to see more of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's too athletic and he's not the guy the defense is expecting, and Yoke will find you every time.
Power dunks are so great. We don't have enough guys that do that. Like, even though it was a wide open dunk, there was nobody there. It was just such a perfect exclamation point.
Well, and I think with Jeremy Grant being in this line, when you're putting him in that second unit and he like thinks he's the second scoring option,
Yeah.
you get him in a bad place mentally.
Yeah.
But that dunk that you're mentioning is exactly what he can be for this offense. You get everyone moving on the defense, you get them overcommitting to a pass to the outside, and he can slash with the best of them and finish with the best of them once he gets ahead of steam. So that is I think when you guys were all talking about the addition of Jeremy Grant way back however long ago that was. This is what you
expected
envisioned.
a lot more of this, and
Yep.
you're starting to finally get it, which is nice.
Unbelievable.
And that rebounding, well, 11 rebounds for MPJ tonight, 12 for Jamal Murray, 11 for Nikola Jokic. So depending on who he's sharing the court with and what position he's playing, maybe that's actually not something he needs to do as much.
I'd be really interested to see the pace that they played with tonight. Let's see if they've updated this. I might be able to find it because I feel like what you're noticing with some of that MPJ grabbing boards. I put this out as a tweet as well. I really love Michael Porter grabbing the board and going.
Oh, yeah.
Because for one, he's got those long strides. He's actually surprisingly quick.
Yeah, he is.
And I just feel like
He's
he
like a
injects some
gazelle.
pace, and it allows Jokic to like establish position as he rim runs down. RK, before you bounce out of here, do you got any parting thoughts before we welcome in Harrison Wind, fresh off of speaking with Michael Malone?
I gotta say, it's 0.3 seconds, but those are great minutes from Bol Bol, and you just love to see that in a big game like this.
Thanks,
All
RK. Check him
love
out.
RK.
Obviously, DNVR Broncos.
We love him.
And bets.
Thanks, guys.
We
and
love
everything
him.
else.
Come by anytime, RK.
Is that a Harrison Wind waiting
Oh,
in the
my goodness. I can't wait
feel
to
the
hear.
I feel the wind through my hair.
The Peloton Prince has arrived.
Oh, baby.
The king of the game might be in question, but the prince is
Never
Prince
Peloton
of the
Prince
game.
is never in question.
I have there's a comment here. I want
You have to throw
I want to
out?
get your reaction to.
Okay.
Says we saw Mars's calves the other day. I was underwhelmed. TBH.
Oh, you see him in person. That's a bad take. His
Expectations
calves-
were high.
Yeah.
I just want I throw out I just want to get a reaction. Cold
There's
reaction.
absolutely no reaction. You know, the male form here. We are going to go to male
That's a bad
form
take.
corner here.
Adam's
Yeah.
calves are impressive.
Absolutely horrible take. But at the same time, okay. Tell me, so Harrison, you talked to Michael Malone. Who else we get
Yeah.
today?
We got Jamal. We
Ooh,
got
nice.
Nikola.
Okay, so they wheeled Jamal out there on the on the gurney, or what was it? Like,
So, did you guys talk about his minute restriction yet, or were you?
he had a
waiting for
minute
me?
restriction. Was that, what is it, 65 minutes? Was that it? They had to keep him
Jamal
below it?
Murray came into tonight with a 22
Wow.
minute restriction.
What did he end
about
up
this,
with?
man.
23.
He
or?
played 40.
He almost did 2-minute
He
restrictions.
played 40 minutes tonight. He came into tonight on a minute restriction of 22 minutes.
I feel like that was a bad choice, but you know what? Never
Michael
done win without
Malone
him.
quote:
I feel like
I blew right past that.
Yeah.
Yep.
That you know
yes,
that's
did,
you know what that's called? Not having a minutes restriction.
So what do we make of this, Harrison? I mean, how was this discussed amongst everybody tonight in the postgame, both from Jamal and from Michael Malone?
So I mean, Michael Malone said he blew right past it, obviously, and then I asked him again about it, and he was like,
I feel like you love that.
"Yeah, it was it was a tough decision. Like he kind of went back."
I
on
love
it
your
and,
Malone impression there. Can you do that again?
Hey, forget about it.
I like to picture him like riding a golf court to the Grand Destino and like, that's Harrison thinks that's what I sound like.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, so we saw Jamal grabbing at his hamstring. We saw him holding it. We saw him trying to stretch it out in a huddle during a timeout. But I mean, Malone said we were in constant communication. He felt good. I mean, that's obviously what Jamal Murray is going to say. We know that by now. So yeah, he let him go.
Wait,
but
what was the minutes restriction?
22.
Okay, that's exactly what Paul Millsap played.
Maybe he confused him.
Yeah, he was like, all right,
Yeah.
oh no.
So that was certainly interesting. I mean,
Well, what did he talk about how he felt? I mean, Jamal's also one of these guys that never admits when he's in pain, but did he mention some of the pain?
He said he felt tired for sure. He actually had a
we
quote
know
about how he
Jamal.
missed the 2 free throws. He was like, "You knew I was tired because I missed 2 free
Oh,
throws."
I love it. I love it. It's such an excuse
Yeah.
without an excuse.
So he was definitely fatigued, but didn't say anything about the hamstring bothering him. You know, that's about par for the course.
Are you under the impression, as we are, that Jamal Murray's just not going to be 100% for this playoff run? I mean, he might be close enough to go, good enough to go or whatever. But
I mean, it might just be one of those things that just kind of nags at him. You know, like we saw the ankles with him really throughout the whole season. I don't know if he ever really fully healed from some of those rough ankle sprains he has. So
Legs.
I think it could just be something that nags at him. But I mean, this was a classic Jamal Murray performance, man.
everything.
It had everything. The come from behind win,
The inconsistent
the
shooting.
injuries, the inconsistent shooting, the big fourth quarter, the clutch shots down the stretch.
We got some mean mugs.
Yeah. And I mean, you guys know my theory. He plays better when he's hurt. So,
this is a great thing.
Does
Yeah.
he play
Well, first
when he's
I was
not
about to
hurt?
say, like, how would you know the difference? He's literally only
like
ever hurt.
visibly limping.
That's what I'm
when
saying.
he's visibly limping,
always
he's
visibly
clutch.
limping.
Oh,
man.
Well, wow. What else did Michael Malone have to say about this game?
He said that Nikola Jokic was a different player in the first half and second half.
Yes, he's right.
And then Jokic was asked about it, and he kind of disagreed. Of course, big surprise there.
Was he asked then that coach said this? What do you think?
Yeah, exactly.
Was he taken aback by this comment?
I wouldn't say taken aback. I wouldn't say taken aback. He just said something along the lines of, I was there. I was out there
Okay.
for the whole game.
He's like, we out here, man.
Yeah. Jokic did have an interesting quote about his clutch shooting and how good of a closer he is. He was asked
game recognized game, even if
he
it's
was
your own.
asked, why is he so good in those clutch moments? And he said, because you don't really have to think about it. The clock's winding down. I don't have another choice other than to shoot it. Which, I mean, but with all these insightful Jokic quotes, it's 100% what he thinks, right?
Yeah.
He's just being 100% transparent.
Yeah. What highlight do we have? The Jokic highlight package? Is that out from House of Highlights yet? Not yet.
Negative.
Oh, you're working on. Oh, they've got Donovan Mitchell. Yeah, we
cool.
don't
Let's
have
check
to
that
run
out.
through
That
those
sounds
ones. Another talking point, guys, out of this game that I think is a growing trend with the Nuggets and maybe a growing concern. Teams are shooting lights out on them.
Oh my God.
Some of this, I think, when we're talking about a 5-game sample size now, that's randomness, I think. But I don't know that it's that. Michael Malone certainly doesn't think it's randomness. It's variance or whatever. The Nuggets got outscored by 39 points from behind the 3-point line, and this is a growing trend. Is this how big of a concern would you say this is?
I think it's a real concern. The defense is a problem right now, and I think some of it is that they're shorthanded, which it appears they're going to be. This team has to play so hard on defense to be a top 12, top 10 D, which we saw in those first 65 games. Can they do that when everything is such a grind right now, shorthanded? I don't think so, and it's going to be difficult for them, and I do think that is concerning.
Yeah.
I think it's a huge concern, man. Watching these games over the last couple of weeks, teams are just gunning from three. I've never seen teams more willing to shoot the three. And it's not just the Houston Rockets. It's Dallas. It's obviously Utah. It's pretty much every team in the West, maybe other than OKC. And maybe that's why they're Denver's best potential matchup in the playoffs, because they're not as potent as a three-point shooting team as these other teams are.
Yeah.
But this is just kind of the way the game's being played in the bubble.
Yeah.
And the Nuggets are not playing that way,
Yeah, it's interesting. The Nuggets are not keeping pace at all with their opponents from behind the 3-point line, but they are absolutely dominating the paint. 74 points in the paint to 34. They're just different styles.
Yeah, Rudy
right?
Gobert really dominated this matchup.
Yeah.
No, but there is some. Here's the thing, though. 40% from three from Utah. I'm not going to let it go. I mean, come on.
Please
I was
don't.
reading a timeline full of people that were just
Some
talking
water.
at me.
People salty.
plural.
A little salty up here.
So they shot 40% from the 3-point line tonight, which is not that great. It's above average, but it's not like they went 55%. They got 55 3-point attempts tonight. And I felt like I don't feel like they were cutting threes like the Houston Rockets. I just felt like they were getting good looks, in large part because they were able to collapse and get into the paint
I'm
so
telling
much
you,
and kick
though.
out.
I'm telling you, I was telling you this in the first half. Like, they had so much success behind the 3-point line in the first half that they became reliant upon it. And then it dried up for them and allowed the Nuggets to get back in.
But it's not like they were shooting... they were shooting wide open threes in the second half as well. They were getting the same shots.
I'm not advocating saying that the Nuggets did something different on defense. It's just there's something about that mentality when you get a non-3-point shooting team in a rhythm of expecting to hit 3-pointers.
Yeah.
And the law of averages will tell you every time that it starts to dry up.
You're not wrong about that, but here's the thing. When you dominate the paint the way that they did, you should win. And you shouldn't have to take double overtime to get it.
You're right. You're right. Imagine, though, if they just played a normal first quarter. This game would have been
I
close.
guess there is something to that. Yeah, they were getting blown out in that first quarter. All right, we have Jokic highlights, so let's come and relive the magic here
we got
because
a little negative
it's
here,
always what's that?
That got all negative for a second.
We went to negative town, not in the winners' lounge. No way. All right, let's throw on the.
Probably just skip across to the second half.
I love that he
baby.
got the assist on that one. That's a
baby.
Jamal Murray
28
highlight right there.
Plus
That was a
overtimes.
beautiful play.
Look at that.
Oh, his hands.
The tentacles.
Yeah, you're right. That was his only highlight in the first quarter was that Jamal Murray spin move. Not exactly.
Jamal Murray 3. Those are his highlights.
Come on, he was out there. Come on.
Here we go. We're still in the second. I don't remember this one. Which one is it? Oh, just taking him to like a child. Get out of here, Gobert.
Well, it's just so work.
This is where things turn for Rudy Gobert.
Yeah.
That moment right there.
It was at that moment that Twitter realized they were way wrong about their analysis.
And yet,
I thought we'd see
Colin
way
Coward
more
doubled
of this
down.
with Yoke and Jeremy Grant.
You know what?
by
We
the
are.
way.
That's what I'm
I think
talking
we're
about.
starting
Jeremy
to
Grant.
now,
They're
yeah.
putting the smaller defender on Jeremy
They
Grant.
found something
They
late
have.
in the
Oh,
second
God,
quarter
for
there.
sure.
They found something.
I
Get
forgot
to
about
Jokic,
that
get
one.
the switch, get the double, and then Jeremy
Dump it
Grant or
off.
somebody's open.
Oh, the no look to the corner, a Jokic staple where he never looks, he just whips that pass. Oh my God, absolutely gorgeous. Edgar, you're a Utah fan. Oh, okay. I thought for some reason you were. I was gonna.
He's like offended by that question.
The color scheme.
Oh,
they look like a paint
uniforms?
swatch. Are you kidding me?
These are the worst
Back-to-back
uniforms in the league.
threes for Yokic.
Oh yeah, the back-to-back. So this is now 2 games in a row, right? With the back-to-back 3-point where Jokic just says, "F it, I'm not off anymore."
Yeah,
I'm
well, he
back
got
on.
last time it was 3, but yeah, this time he just took 2.
I think he had what was it?
That
13
play right there
points?
by Murray, by the way, one of my favorite of the entire game. Running the pick and roll and getting your big guy a shot that easy.
We
That's
really are
great
going to
work.
watch these highlights for like an hour.
We are. It's going to be a
these
long.
are really just still
You know
going
what I
on.
can? Oh yeah.
As Wynn pointed out, is a classic
Squish.
third from Yoke there. 13
Oh
points. in
no.
10
Oh yeah.
minutes.
This is where he cuts to the right limb.
Oh,
Look at that.
The
Fleet of
speed,
foot.
the finesse,
The Serbian
gracefulness.
the grace.
Him and Murray, that two-man
three
game
guy.
down the stretch. You realize just how potent
I
it
wanted
is.
that one so bad. The Serbian blur.
The two-man game. We're back at it. This is the first overtime. So this is what I'm talking about. Where it was a child, like, oh, okay, not even a move.
Yeah, that's what I would do to my brother.
He had
Yeah.
Gobert in his back pocket.
I would do
over
that to
the
my brother,
entire
like,
second half in both overtimes.
trying to get
All
a
right,
t-shirt.
now
with a
Gobert's
hamper.
gone because he can't guard without fouling.
Oh baby.
Yeah.
Too easy.
I mean, once Gobert got out of this game, if the Nuggets didn't score every time down, it was
Oh
a
my
massive
gosh.
Uh,
disappointment.
Love it. I mean, just look at these diamonds. This is a
I
clinic.
mean, we're literally still watching highlights. This has been
Mechanical.
going on for-
We still just Jokic. Oh, a Sombor shuffle.
That might have been the like lowest percentage Sombor shuffle he's ever shot. That thing was gutsy.
It went in
Look
100%.
at this.
I don't know what you mean. Oh, that was gorgeous. I love, who's he point to too? He gives a little point.
He was pointing at Tim Connolly actually.
Was he real? How do you know
Yeah.
that? He mentioned it.
Yeah, he mentioned it.
He's pointing at Tim Conley.
Yeah.
I love it.
Because I think before that 3, he had missed a couple mid-range jumpers, and Tim was on the sidelines. Like, this is according to Jamal, just like, all right, stay with it, Jamal. Like, keep it going. You got this. And then he hits that 3 and gives the point to him.
Yeah.
I mean, there aren't that many people he could have been pointing at. It was like Tim Conley or
just-
Calvin Booth.
Yeah.
One of the two.
I know how many people are actually there inside
Yeah.
the bubble. We can roll to another break. When we come back, guys, though, there is some beef going on in the NBA or in the bubble,
boy.
and I can't wait for it. It doesn't involve Chris Paul miraculously.
We're not talking about our delicious and juicy burger here.
We're
at
not
the
talking
DNVR
about a
bar.
juicy burger from here. We're talking some other beef.
Yeah, so you guys got through a read without me?
We got
No, I wouldn't say we got through it. It
Yeah,
just
we
happened.
barely-
It
we
was
limped
I
just-
through
actually
it.
did a pretty good
We
job.
clung. It was. When you- no, when you-
Vote can bang up the read.
When you listen later, you'll hear the difference.
Much like
they know the
MPJ,
difference.
though, like I know when to get out of the way and let the veterans just say,
Keep sending in your questions, guys, because segment 3 we're going to get questions. We're going to play a little game here. Would you rather?
No.
And
No,
then
it's called
either or.
Either or.
Well, we have would you rather, but either
It's the
or.
same- it's the same
very
game, but
different.
it's
rather
very
play
different.
either or. Nah.
Yeah, either or, and then we got to talk about some beef. But
All right, this tournament's already going on, but golf's first major of the year is happening this weekend.
Oh.
Pretty sure Eric's already pocketed a nice. Little
No,
amount of
I
cash.
no, I don't. I only bet on what I know, and that's the Denver Nuggets, baby.
he
Not
did
on
bet on the
golf,
Nuggets
but, yeah.
tonight, so
Yeah, there's no better way to join the action than with DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app. And to celebrate golf's first major of the year, DraftKings Sportsbook is, of course, offering up special odds and promotions all weekend long. And all new users get a sign-up bonus up to $1,000. So
Yeah.
awesome boosts, awesome little perks that DraftKings handing out.
Well,
And
and if you check out Bets Daily with RK and Andre, they talk about golf a lot because RK is a golf junkie, and they bring in the expertise of Spencer and Mitchell, our DNVR golf guys. So
Yeah.
they give you actually some really good advice if you do want to bet golf like a degenerate, not knowing anything about it.
well,
like
you
me.
could probably give some advice on betting the Nuggets after today.
Oh yeah, my advice is you should bet on the Nuggets.
Yeah, if Utah gets off to a hot start shooting the 3, bet the Nuggets.
Yeah, dude.
A classic Jazz second half.
I called it. Didn't I call exactly what was
You
going to
did.
happen?
You did.
All right.
Yeah, make sure to download the top-rated DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code DNVR when you sign up. For a limited time, all new users can get a sign-up bonus up to $1,000. That's right, DraftKings Sportsbook is going all out with a sign-up bonus up to $1,000. Just enter the code DNVR when you sign up, only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Must be 21 or older. Colorado only. Bonuses comprised of a first deposit bonus and a first bet match, each up to $500. Deposit bonus requires a 25 times playthrough. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
See, Voti, can you believe that we called what you did earlier a read after that? It's disgusting.
Yeah, well, we've also got Manscaped, guys. We've also got Manscaped back.
let me
on the
hear it.
docket.
Tell me about manscaping.
Your balls.
Your
Thank
balls,
you.
your balls will thank
Yeah,
you.
guys.
Let's go.
2020 has been the year of things happening that are completely out of your control. understatement of the year. But there's one thing you can control, and that's shaving your bush. Our sponsors.
Is this really?
at
Are you doing the read? Or are you
Manscaped
freelancing on this one?
You
Wow.
to do so.
He's completely off script. Completely off script.
Yeah, but check out the Perfect Package 3.0 from Manscaped. That's what you absolutely want with the Lawnmower 3.0. Tons of other oils and products, and the carrying case, of course.
For your bush, as it
Keep
were.
your manscaping routine on point. So you guys can get 20% off plus free shipping with the code DNVR30 at manscaped.com. Actually, I think that's supposed to be 20. Disregard that. You guys can get 20% off free shipping with the code DNVR20 at manscaped.com. That's off your entire purchase as well, plus free shipping. 20% off with the code DNVR20 at manscaped.com. Final thing before we get back into this, my DraftKings pick of the week.
Oh, you have
DraftKings
one?
Pick of the week. Nuggets Lakers on Monday.
Oh, God.
Nuggets are plus 1.5. I'm going with the Nuggets.
Wow.
Going with the Nuggets. I don't know. Is LeBron going to be playing?
Is Jamal Murray going to be playing?
Yeah.
Are the
We'll-
Lakers
yeah,
even
we'll
good?
report-
All these questions.
Yeah.
are
Could
just
LeBron
circling.
retire before then and now?
Yeah.
Big game, though. I think a nice little test for Denver. So I'm going the Nuggets plus 1.5 against the Lakers on Monday for my DraftKings pick of the week.
Man, that's a bold pick of the week there, man. That's a really bold one.
Nuggets are riding high.
Yeah, but it's basically also a preseason game.
3-2.
So-
I just want to say my prediction of 6-2 for the Nuggets over their 8 seeding games still in play. Just want to put that out there.
All
Still
right,
in
6 and
play.
2.
Don't play, baby.
What are they? 3-2?
At 3-2 right now.
Alrighty. These games just feel so much. If they would have lost tonight, I don't think I would have been that upset.
I would have.
I would have been upset in the moment because of how but
Because they choked a 6-point lead with
yeah,
19
like the
seconds
little
left.
details of it.
And
but,
because Twitter would be an absolute toxic dumpster fire.
oh my God! Well, Gobert dominated that first quarter, so
I'm mad
that's where
already.
the game was.
Even
that's
if
where
it
the game
doesn't
was
unfold, I'm
made.
going to start fighting people
I'm not
about
letting
that.
this go.
I love it, dude. I love it.
It was just crazy. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I
It's
couldn't
almost
believe
like
it.
you should wait more than 6 minutes before.
It's
This
like,
is
have we
happening
not,
like
have we not
LeBron. If
seen
LeBron's
this story
playing-
with Jokic?
That's what I was gonna say. If
Has
LeBron-
anybody watched Jokic play a basketball game before?
Has anybody like LeBron's
No.
going up against the Toronto
That's the
Raptors
point.
and they're
No,
like,
they haven't.
LeBron's really struggled in the first 3 minutes of this game.
Dude,
Is this a bad matchup?
We
no,
say
it's
this
LeBron,
all the
it's
time, man.
Raptors that
Jokic
kill
is
him.
graded on such a harder curve than any other star out there. It's unbelievable.
Everything's hard for
so
us.
producer Guy or producer Kale or both, do we have some individual clips lined up for us to rate here? Is that right?
I wouldn't try it at the same time. Though.
All right, yeah.
What are the other?
All right, we're gonna play a little rate the highlight
Oh,
here.
boy.
A little rate.
Supposed
Eric,
to,
10.
David East was giving everybody 10s tonight, but
yeah,
we
yeah, they're trying to get rid- I'm going to get
I'm sure
rid of
David
all of
East
it,
isn't
but
too upset with
Put
us.
it on the David East scale.
Yeah.
I'm going to prejudge this.
All right,
on
what do we
10
have?
plus.
What's our first one here?
Staring into a light.
Well, I actually can't see anything. I don't know what this play is here.
Okay.
We got PJ Dozier.
Doge.
Are we being for real? You know what? No. I'm sorry. Look at this. Look at this. Cross through the legs. Oh, Joe Ingles almost fell down. I'm giving it a 9.
I'm giving it a 10.
10.
Man.
This
Wow,
one.
Eric.
This one really caught me off guard. I didn't see this move coming until
No.
it happened.
You know who else
Edgar
didn't?
over there's being a hater with a 7 over there.
Oh,
My God.
boo, Edgar,
You,
boo.
you don't see that move like in the paint that close to the basket that often. I feel like between the legs from like 10 feet out.
We also have to grade on a scale. This is PJ Dozier.
Yeah.
I just wasn't expecting that from PJ Dozier.
PJ Dozier, a lot of late fourth quarter minutes today.
Yeah, I was going
Yeah,
to say,
you know
I
who-
don't think this was his best highlight of the game.
Yeah, you know who didn't see that move coming was Joe Ingles.
Joe
Nice.
Ingles did not see that one.
Do you think
coming.
Joe Ingles knows who PJ Dozier is?
Probably
He does now.
not. Probably
He
not.
does now.
Eric's just been waiting for this.
I like that one. All right, what else
My-
we got?
my whole life
What's
is
the
coming
next
to a
one
head.
here in our queue?
Let's see what we got here. All right. Okay.
All right.
Backing down
Okay.
Mike Conley. Okay.
Oh, nice look.
Oh, I like this one. Good find.
All right. All right.
This is a better play than it is a highlight.
Wow,
know
that
what?
one's better than the. Oh, you got to be kidding me. Am I a
8?
hater? Guys, I might be a hater.
I'm an 8er.
I think I believe we call that a bounce pass.
No. Here's why this was an 8. Is
There's
because
some traffic.
I believe that was Jamal Murray's first assist of the game.
Really?
Like, yeah, like that was sort of like when the dam broke on more offensively focused Jamal Murray to where he started to get and start to play.
I
in
don't
the
think you could
offense a
see it
little
in
bit
that
more.
play, but there might have been an MPJ cut in there that opened that up a little bit. I don't know if you saw it in there.
Edgar's telling us that is the case.
Yeah.
In that case, I'm giving it a 10. No, it was good though. It was a really nice pass.
It's a better
Yeah.
basketball play than it is a highlight.
There
Great
you go.
play,
You're
yeah.
100%. Yeah, it's one you applaud. All right, what
Yeah,
else?
all right. I overshot that.
You
eight,
might have
but
overshot it.
I'm
What do we
gonna-
have? What's
It's
coming up
okay.
next?
You'll get him next.
Let's see. Okay, Jokic.
Oh, I know. I think I
Backing
know
down
this
Joe
one.
Ingles.
I like
Oh,
these
Joe Ingles. Oh, just look at these angles.
Oh, my Lord.
What a camera angle.
Oh, my Lord.
I gotta say, man, the Jokic Jeremy Grant connection. A couple nice moments today.
I know. I'm starting to
A couple
believe.
nice moments.
I'm going 9. Not quite a
going
10.
9.
I think it might be. I think it might be a 9.
It's a 9. We all went 9.
Do we have to
Yeah.
explain it if we
The
all
Jokic
agree?
Jeremy Grant connection.
It just is a
on
9.
the
Let's
up
move
and
on.
up.
Can I
On
tell
the
you though?
up and
I
up.
really like the Jokic like that's like an all wrist pass. You know, like where he
Yeah.
just kind of like.
Was that even wrist? I felt like he bent midway
kinda
through
like-
his forearm.
It's just so casual, you know, and it's just so beautiful. As he's playing at a different rhythm. All right, what else?
Jokic is just casually beautiful.
Casually beautiful, man.
What do you got here? All right. MPJ.
Oh,
The power.
okay. Mouse
The
in the
power.
house.
I mean-
Mouse in the house.
I mean.
I love it. I love it because MPJ
mean-
doesn't get to play bully ball. But let's be honest, guys.
pretty
that
average.
was
This
Pretty
was an
average.
average play,
5.
but
I'll give it a
important.
10.
I mean, this was one of the baskets that got MPJ going, though.
yeah, it did.
He really struggled
What
in
is
that
that?
first
A
half.
4 from Edgar. My God.
Man, a
Can't
4.
go
We
back.
don't even
Who
go as
gave
low as
Edgar
a
the
4.
numbers, dude? Who gave
6?
Edgar numbers?
Is he supposed to even be up here? Do we have any more? Do we have another one? Man, the highlights just keep coming. Double overtime.
Oh, steals
A
with the
little
tentacle.
steal.
Gives it
We
to
get
our
Murray.
man.
Oh,
Oh, this one made me happy.
The pull-up. I love this one.
Oh, sweet baby.
Go 9.
man, I'm gonna go 9 too.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
gonna
going
go at 9. It wasn't gorgeous, but meaningful. Very
Yeah.
great. Jokic, Murray, 2 best players. You get both.
Vote as a 10. I want to hear
Yeah,
about
I'll
that.
explain. Any pull-up 3 from Jamal Murray.
Wow, a 10. All right.
My thought on those shots from Murray, those are the type of shots that get Murray going,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, for
Those
sure.
are the kind of shots to get Eric going. Eric Weedham.
We done? That's
All right,
it.
good stuff.
That's it.
Cool.
All right,
All
that was
right,
fun. That was rate the highlight.
How would you rate that
How would you
segment?
rate that segment?
Where's that icicle?
You know what's funny is there were so many more plays, but the game just kept going and going. Like we didn't have.
this
we didn't
was
keep
one of the
clipping them.
games where you get the 2 overtimes and you just have no recollection of what happens. Like,
Yeah,
I'll tell
for
you what
sure.
happened. A lot of free throws and
Yeah.
a lot of clock operator.
A lot
mishaps.
of stress,
the
undue
replay
stress.
center made its money tonight.
Yeah.
So guys, we have to talk about some beef. There was some beef in the bubble today.
Baby.
All right, and I have another rant. You guys,
Beef
I'm
corner.
full of rants today.
Please.
Yesterday,
Very rantful.
was it yesterday or 2 days ago? 2 days ago. Was it yesterday? When did the Nuggets play last? 2 days ago.
2 days ago.
2 days ago, they play the Portland Trail Blazers, all right?
Yeah.
They rest everybody down the stretch. They rest everybody to start, and the Portland Trail Blazers eke out a win, which apparently everybody thought was the most impressive win in the history of win. I mean, people were really impressed with the Portland Trail Blazers beating up
This is
on
getting
Bobo.
really ranty.
It is getting really ranty. But tonight, the same thing happens with the Clippers. No Kawhi Leonard. He's taking a load management day. Paul George plays for a little bit, then sits down. Doesn't matter. The Clippers still put it to Portland, who was in a must-win, do-or-die situation. They died, and after, and here's how they died was the most interesting. You get Damian Lillard at the
Shamefully.
line.
Oh, my Lord.
Of course he's going to make it. It's Dame time. The fourth quarter is Dame time,
he's
everybody.
clutch. Clutch AF.
Clutch AF, but he's on a different coast, so it doesn't work that way.
Maybe you should have shot them from the logo.
Misses back-to-back free throws. Let's look. I actually really like Damian Lillard. I'm a big Damian Lillard
Oh,
fan.
no,
I'm not gonna
I don't
lie.
like him at all.
I like him a lot.
I
I
don't
like
like him.
Dame. I
I
don't
hope
like
he-
to see
I
him
hope
fail.
he-
I wish
bad things
Nurkic
happen for
missed
him.
the 2 at them.
Yeah,
It would have
I
been
don't-
so much better if Nurkic missed 2 free throws. But Damian Lillard misses both of them. And do we have the clip now to play? Do we have the clip of...
Here we go.
Here's the reaction from Pat Beverly, one of my favorites.
Oh, my
my
God.
goodness.
And one of the
he
Morris
is hyped,
brothers.
and he's yelling at him. Dame time.
Dollar
Oh,
time.
my
Oh,
goodness. Look
my
at this.
God.
Falling over.
And Lou Williams.
Oh,
Oh,
my
God.
goodness! Later in the night, he did the bye bye. This is Damian Lillard last year.
Yeah.
He does
Hold
this
on,
one.
Hold on. I need like a minute here. This is
This
incredible.
is. I know we do need a minute. First of all, before we move on to where the beef begins,
Oh, my God.
Harrison, you're the most pragmatic one of us here.
Give us a
Fair
2-point
or
shot.
foul? Patrick Beverly going to that length to talk shit.
Oh, man. I would say foul because, I mean, the dude's not even playing in the game. Like, at least suit up.
Good
Very
take.
good point.
Good take.
Like, if this was literally anybody else in the Clippers, I would say fair, but I'm going to go foul.
Yeah.
My pragmatic brain will go foul.
Eric.
I think it's completely fair. It's what I want to see in my life. It's what I want to see in the NBA. I love the fact that we have beef that's coming out. Like that we're in the happiest place on earth and it's getting angsty.
Oh, I know. Disney
Like,
World.
Yo, I like that. Was it yesterday? Chris Paul told, or no, it was Kyle Lowry told somebody else what his room number was. Like,
I loved that.
come through, come to my room.
Oh,
803
yeah.
my room number.
Can
803.
Pat Beverly act like he's been there before, man?
That does never stopped him before.
Come
Yeah.
on,
Yeah, it's
dude.
never
Oh,
stopped.
He's
hold
like
on. We need a
phone-
tiebreaker then, because this pragmatic take over here. I'm surprised, but I'm not surprised.
I am all for it. I don't think there's more of this, the better in the NBA. And there's an argument to make if it's not a great look for Pat Bev, who's been ousted by Dame before, who was not playing in that game. But I love it, dude. I love it.
Can I tell you guys something? Last year in the playoffs, people forget about this. Kevin Durant put it on Pat Beverly. Do you guys remember that? Pat Beverly was trying to guard him. Pat Beverly went to that podium, and he took it like a man. He said, I tried my hard. I did everything I could. That dude, I just can't stop him. Yeah. He's better than me. And he took it like a man. You know what I think about this? I'm all for trash talk amongst players. You can't take sports too seriously. I mean, you feel it. If that happened to the Nuggets and they're going to miss the playoffs, it'd be like we'd be so pissed. It would hurt
that's
so
called
bad.
Every year of being a Nuggets fan.
That's true.
We know what that feels like.
It's going to happen at some point. But the point is, do we have the beef? Oh, we're going up with the beef now. So here's where the beef begins. We take to Instagram as one does after a game. Naturally, you go to
get our
and Pat Bev, he wasn't
daily
done.
Dosage of beef.
Cancun on 3, trying to tell them they're done with, and then
Nuggets joke.
And then we got Paul. Yeah, Paul. That is a Nuggets joke. What a legacy!
Dame gets
what a legacy
really
of Brian Shaw.
Dame gets really earnest here. This is a very sincere comment.
Well, first of all, we have to go in order here. So then Paul George says, "Oh wait, no. Actually, who was the first comment?" It says, because I thought Damian Lillard, after the game, that's what happened. After the game, Damian Lillard goes in and he says, like, this wasn't acceptable, this was unfair. Then Paul George tells him, and you getting sent home this year, respect. Damian Lillard, keep switching teams. I actually love this clapback.
Yeah, first of all, I'm totally with Lillard on this. Like, PG has really no ground to stand on here.
Keep switching teams. I love this. Running from the grind. You boys is chumps.
Then YG Trey says, let's see. That too. Wait.
He had more success in India.
He says that basically had more
debatable.
Dame time running out. G.
All right.
Also, he did not have more success. Indy. They both made the conference finals.
Would you rather have Indy Paul George or Portland Dame Lillard? No one else on your team. Veil of ignorance.
Give me Damian Lillard.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Dame for leadership purposes. Paul George the better player.
Okay.
But Damian Lillard, I just feel like you're gonna
slightly
get. Here's one thing I'll say though. I think trash talking guys like this is cool. Like, I like it. Damian Lillard taking offense and clapping back is cool. But I am so team Dame on calling out guys for jumping ship. I am so in on it. No players don't do this enough. People should be talking so much shit to all of the players that do this.
But then again, there's not many stars left who could talk shit about not
Dame's
jumping
a real
teams.
one.
And now Dame really cannot go to the Lakers in 2
years.
He really can't. He really can't.
I know. I hope he typed that and was like, "What have I done?"
Oh yeah, you remember?
Yeah,
well, Kevin
people are
Durant
gonna
had
keep
this
those
one, right?
receipts
Didn't
for
Kevin
sure.
Durant have this?
Yeah,
Why is everybody switching teams these days?
Yeah.
Kyrie, right? I'm not leaving.
I'm not leaving. Yeah.
So basically, Dame's leaving.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
Who wins this back and forth? Go to the judges here. How do you score the fight?
The Clippers, because they won the game.
It's a good take.
I'm Team Dame. I'm Team Dame on this to the end.
Yo, Dame is clearly hurt. I watched
hurt.
the Blazers walk off the floor completely dejected, very shook by the fact that Dame Lillard, logo Lillard, Dame time, stepped up, missed 2 free throws in the pressure cooker. And now you can tell, like, that's why he's getting super personal. He's like,
very personal.
So absolutely, the Clippers are in his head big time. They won this fight. I don't know how it turns out, but if you're scoring this round, to quote David East, that's a 10 out of 10 A+.
Oh, wow.
I've got some stats on those Dame missed free throws. So he's a career .889 shooter. So the chances of him missing twice in a row are just 1.23%. But Kevin Pelton tweeted, per stat head, that was the 4th time this season that Dame has missed both shots.
Not clutch.
During a trip to the free throw.
Clutchless.
So what
Get
am I
yourself
trying
a
to
clutch
say?
superstar.
I'm not fine with this Dame slander.
Dame is very clutch.
I actually
Let's be
really
very
like
clear here.
I had a Honda
Before he
Civic that
hurts
had
us again.
this level of clutch, and you know what I had? I had to take it into the shop.
We'll wrap up today. This is terrible, guys. This
know.
is really bad.
There's nothing that there's no better dad joke that make you shake it off and then have to return.
Yeah. We got a graphic here. Either or. Let's run to either or here. Maybe we need like an either or. Either or.
I decide which member is getting dragged.
Yeah,
and
it's gonna be
I change it up.
You have all the power.
So my first one here, guys. Michael Porter just think we're talking about this today. Among the commentary live during the game, Eric and I were pontificating over whether or not MPJ looks better with long hair or short hair.
Yeah.
Either or do you take the long-haired MPJ or the short-haired MPJ vote?
I would need to see which one of them has a higher true shooting percentage.
It's definitely this version in the bubble.
Than this one.
Whatever he's rocking with right now, just keep it going.
This is
Don't
ridiculous.
Never get a haircut again.
This is the reason why we apparently can never change the Avalanche's terrible logo because they won with it. It's
How
a
did
bad
you manage to
logo.
get to that
Yo,
take?
the hair bet
I know,
right
he just
now
wanted to get
objectively
there.
better.
Get a
It doesn't matter
one
how.
shot on Eric right now for this round.
Bring it on me. MPJ looks so much better now. He's got a little shagged to his. He looks a little unkept. Like you don't really know what you're going to get from him. Wild.
Yeah.
I like that Adam has the either or list because I also have an either.
Oh, why did you go to your either or list? Let's hear yours. Let's get battling either ors.
Yeah. Which either this list or that list?
Who would you guys rather have to win one game? A healthy Jamal Murray or Donovan Mitchell?
Jamal Murray.
Man, this
One game, Jamal
sucks.
Murray.
One game, Jamal Murray, 82 games.
I would take
Mitchell.
Jamal Murray as well.
Oh my God! Am I gonna? Can we pass? I don't want to answer this question.
Man, Donovan Mitchell,
So your answer was Mitchell.
Yeah,
is what
he's
you're saying.
speaking
No,
loud.
I didn't answer.
Mitchell
Wow.
made this question tough
Yo,
tonight, man.
I
He
mean, Mitchell
almost
was disgusting
single-handedly,
down the stretch.
He's all right.
Uh,
Even though Jokic.
either or Dallas or Houston as a playoff opponent.
Dallas.
Oh, I like that you two. This is so great that you picked those.
Yeah,
Dallas, baby, Dallas.
Dallas for me too.
So some people were speculating that Denver was trying to avoid the 2 seed so they didn't have to play Dallas. And I'm thinking that would be the weakest move in
That'd
the
be
history of
coward shit.
sports if you were trying to avoid the Dallas Mavericks. I get it when it's the Houston Rockets.
Okay.
I get it if it's the Lakers.
Coward.
Dallas?
I'm with
Yeah.
you. Unacceptable if that's the case.
You can't be afraid of
but
the
I
Dallas
mean,
Mavericks.
why wouldn't you try to avoid them if you have nothing to lose?
Because at some point you tell your team we're good and we're not. Are the Lakers right now trying to like not play Oklahoma City because they lost
Well,
to
the Lakers
No,
are
man.
locked to the 1 seed.
We also
I
no one
understand that. I'm just,
also we're at that point no one game was going to lock anything in. You still have so much that has to bounce your way.
Right,
I just think
if the Nuggets were trying to avoid the Mavericks, which I don't know if they were, but maybe I don't blame them.
well, it's
I
funny,
don't blame them.
It's funny you asked that because I have either or Utah or Oklahoma City, which is also right there. Eric,
I want Dallas.
That was not the question.
Utah or Oklahoma City.
Oh, I'm
Try
sorry.
to stick
I'm
with
sorry.
the show
I'm sorry.
here.
Well, have you ever been on the
attention.
internet? There's like so much interesting stuff.
Have you seen what's going on online?
I'm out of here.
Wait, tell me one more time. One last time. One last
Oklahoma
try.
City or the Utah Jazz.
I will take Oklahoma City. I will take Oklahoma City.
I'm not afraid of either of these teams.
I'm not afraid of either of these teams. We literally beat them the last 2 victories we had, and we were without one thing both times. Like we didn't have Murray when we beat OKC, and we were not cohesive in the first quarter, which was really the difference in this game. This game shouldn't have been close otherwise.
Yeah.
OKC is an easier out, but I want Utah.
Oh, I like it. I like it.
I love that
Nuggets
take. I think it's my take too.
I think Nuggets would body Utah.
Yeah. I would take OKC. I think Denver beats OKC in 5.
I think Denver beats Utah in 5,
Love it.
and I think that I want to do this. I want to go on my rants every single time until it's indisputable that Gobert is not a matchup for Jokic.
Your rants are really, really out of
I came
control
in spicy today, man.
Unbelievable.
Really
Like,
spicy.
I thought we were here as just
Spicy.
like a news source, not
Yeah,
just sort of
it's
a
spicy.
rant dumping ground for Mahrez.
Gary Harris returns or Will Barton returns. You can only have one.
What are you asking?
I'll go with both.
Man.
Gary or Will? Gary for defense.
This is
Tough
tough.
one. What are people in the comments? I want to get people commenting.
Yeah,
on
wait,
this.
tell us why vote was wrong.
Man.
And I'm the Barton guy.
I go with Will as well.
I'm going to go Will just because I think offense is just going to matter a little bit more in these playoffs.
Yeah.
Can I change
It's
my
close,
answer?
though.
I'm going Gary Harris. I love his defense. I really think he's going to make a comeback. It's not that we don't need Will, but we do have MPJ, and MPJ can replace what Will gives you. Gary, we need his lockdown defense. Like it's a big deal.
And I think if you have Gary out there, then you can do less lineups with Torrey Craig out there in some of these matchups with Houston's or Portland. Not that would happen. But I don't think your best perimeter defender, I think it's better if it's Gary as opposed to a wild carding.
So we see.
They
Let's
definitely
see.
missed him tonight.
So it goes Barton, Gary, Will, Gary. Will. It's really split.
Man,
on
it's
this
really
one.
split. Great
It's
question.
a tough
Adam.
one. Yeah, it's a tough one. I have one along those lines. Who would you rather have starting at shooting guard and closing? Gary or Will?
I guess this is the same question.
I'm going to
really.
go Gary again. Yeah.
See, I would rather have Gary starting, but Will closing.
I'm with
probably.
Win there. I'm with Win there.
Dude, we've seen Gary though down the. He doesn't get shook. You can't count on his offense, but you're not going to Will in the clutch anyway. You're going to Jokic. You're going to MPJ. You're going to Murray.
But how do you get the ball to those guys? Will Barton is an initiator.
I honestly am thinking primarily about him in the pick and roll and just Denver needing that guy.
I don't know. I just feel like other people can give you what Will gives you, but Gary is a unique talent, like defensively.
Barton understands late in the game. I got to find Jokic. He gets that.
Last one for me here. Would you rather Jamal be healthy going into the playoffs fully,
yes, that one,
but
whatever.
miss the next 3 games, so no time to build chemistry, or play the next 3 games and be at 90% going into the playoffs?
Oh, man.
Because I think the chemistry is a real thing, man. Like these guys, Michael Porter's such a big part of this team now that it's a whole different team. 90%'s not that bad.
I'd take 90%.
Yeah,
I'd take 90%.
I'll take the A-. I'll take that 90% with the A+ chemistry. It's a pretty good little GPA.
I can guarantee 100% health. I'm taking it.
Going into the playoffs.
Taking it.
Same with me. I think the first round of the playoffs really might be a tune-up for everybody. And Nuggets might get got. I mean, any team might get got in this
Definitely
first
going to be a tune-up
round.
for the Nuggets.
Look, guys, we're talking about these games as much fun as they are. They really just feel like preseason, man. I think the first round of the playoffs.
I don't remember wanting to die in the preseason like I did today.
I'm just saying, I think teams are going to start to peak in the second round. I think the first round you're going to see some ugly basketball, and you just got to have to grind it out.
Something else interesting from the post game. Jamal Murray mentioned twice about coaching up MPJ at practice and during the game. So I'm wondering if he's trying to take MPJ under his wing a little bit.
Oh, 100%.
Just something to watch for.
Wait, who is this?
Jamal.
Jamal's taking MPJ under his wing.
Yo, can you believe, just really quickly,
a lot of layers to that.
As a quick aside, to give a tip of the cap to the NBA, do you remember we spent 4 months trying to argue if ethically or morally it was a good idea to have this bubble?
Yeah.
This is incredible.
Yeah.
This thing's going off without a hitch. It's
so far, knock on
wood.
wood.
So far. I mean, but it's been great, and the games are good quality.
Games have been very entertaining.
The whole presentation is fantastic. I really impressed. The NBA really pulled it off.
Yeah. Well, that's it for me, guys. Is there anything else in the comments that we need to
There was a great
address?
question from Chris Morley, and I'm not sure I have the answer. Why take it easy against Portland and put the pedal to the floor today?
That's what he said.
Because you want to avoid the Mavericks.
Gerrymandering.
Don't tell anyone.
No. It's to get the Blazers in to fight to get them in.
It was also a back-to-back. It was a back-to-back.
That's
It
what
was
I'm
a
wondering.
back-to-back.
It
That's
was also
actually
a
great
back-to-back.
point.
I mean, guys,
That's honestly probably the whole answer.
I think it was the entirety
That's
of it.
the whole answer.
If we're talking about trying to get Portland into the 8th seed just to lose in 5 to the Lakers and try to avoid Dallas,
I don't know that they would.
that stuff's flimsy.
Don't
to
know
me.
that they
I'm
would.
positive.
I don't know that they would. I mean,
If you guys think CJ McCollum is giving round 1 LeBron James with Anthony Davis a problem, you have not been paying attention.
I just think Anthony Davis breaks every time he bangs in the post, and Nurkic breaks people physically. He just hits them nonstop. So 5 games of him hitting Anthony Davis.
Look, I'll take it. All I'm saying is this is some really galaxy brain shit if we're talking about Dallas and Portland.
I'm telling you, I don't think it's that they're going to lose. I just think it's that Portland would really make the Lakers' chance go down a lot.
Sure, they're going to make the Lakers work.
Overall, not in the first
They'll
round.
make the Lakers work. They'll tire them out more than a Memphis would tire the Lakers out. That's for sure.
But I do not have a good answer to that question other than maybe the back-to-back thing. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Don't think there's going to be an addition of the list tomorrow. Do you guys know why?
Because of the
it's
Keeping It
Sunday?
1000 podcast.
Because the Keeping It 1000 podcast with George Carl is going to be recording tomorrow and dropping late tomorrow night. I can't wait.
I'm
deep
so
dive X's and O's conversation with the coach himself, as well as topics about what's it like coaching a player like Michael Porter Jr. What's it like going into a training camp without your full roster? How would you be adjusting to these all these circumstances? Would you ever throw games to try to create the seating? All this stuff you want to hear from somebody who actually knows what they're talking about.
I'm very, very excited to see what Adam Mares looks like next to an engine as opposed to 3 anchors.
Well, I'm excited to hear from him and hear all of his takes. George Carl always keeps it 1,000 when he's talking to us. You like that little synergy?
You're going to play either or.
Someone had just asked you why.
What's
You're
that?
like, George,
No.
Michael Porter Jr. or J.R. Smith.
no, you're
either
like,
or.
George Carl, first question, hard hitting. Michael Porter Jr.'s hair, shaggy or short? I'll hang up and take my question offline.
Probably not going to be playing those. Thanks, everybody that hung around for the entirety of this Winter's Lounge. This was a fun one. Been a lot of fun ones, man.
Shout out
You could start that
producers.
outro music we can get it going. We're gonna be back again on Monday. They got the Lakers.
The Lakers.
The pick of the
Harrison
week,
Wynn
baby.
guaranteed a win, so it should
Pick
be
of
a
the
Winner's
week.
Lounge.
Easy. It's the pick of the week. Put your money on it, and then blame
Put
Harrison.
all of your money on that.
Be safe out there, everybody. We'll see you next time.